Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode on Court Farms. So yesterday we actually did quite well. We sold all of our silage and managed to make a fair bit of money. Today we have now got that money sat in our bank account and I think it is probably time to actually spend some of it because it has taken us long enough to actually be slightly successful on this map. So as we now have 323,000 or so pounds, we should probably go and spend some of it. So I'm just first of all going to check and see what we actually own in the way of seed drills. Probably shouldn't go on there. If we go on here, and yeah, we don't own any of these. I don't think we own any actually. So what I was going to do is I was going to buy a tractor for them. I don't know which one to go for yet. But as for the tractors, initially I actually said we should buy the Case Quad-Track, but a few people were strongly against that. So I think we should probably go for a JCB. The Case Quad-Track, as you can see, is £379,000 anyway, so out of our price range. The Fast Track is obviously a lot more affordable, and I'm talking about the 8310 here, not the smaller 3230. So with this one, we'll also have money left over, so we'll buy that now. It's 310 horsepower, quite impressive, which then will allow us to see how much money we've actually got left for a seed drill. Now, this seed drill here is obviously too expensive for us, but we could extend our loan. This requires 320 horsepower, but we might be able to pull it with that tractor because the land is fairly flat. So kind of considering that Horsch Pronto 9SW there. Otherwise it's the Väderstad Rapid A600S, which is obviously considerably smaller at only 6 meters, this one being 9 meters, so 3 meters different. I would like to go for a bigger one. I think it's about time we spent some money on some larger equipment. So here we are at the store. We've got our Fast Track here, and we don't need to add too much money. We've got our loan on 100,000. I think that is what it starts off as with the difficulty we're on. So we're going to have to borrow a bit, probably a bit more just so we're not in debt. It's £25,000. And now if we go into here, go on sewing machines, we can now afford the Pronto 9SW. So the thing is, I don't think this map is actually open to multi-fruit, so we won't be able to actually put any multi-fruits in, which is a bit of a shame. However, we can still do one of the common crops, which I'm looking forward to. I will just skip through just to see if you can do a multi-fruit. That's interesting. There is actually clover, I think it is there, but that is all. So maybe it is multi-fruit enabled for some, but not for all. I'm not too sure. I don't really like to say. But I think just to play it safe, we will just plant a standard crop. But it has been a long time since I used this tractor. I do like the Fast Tracks. I like them both. I have missed this one. The first thing to do is to go to the farm, just refill. And if you're wondering which fields we're going to do at least one. Not really decided whether we're going to do two or not, but the first one is the one down at the bottom, or the southwest side of the map, which is field number 19. Quite a big field, interesting shape. I think it's got a tree in the middle of it, so that's the one we're going to go for today. And then if we have time, we'll also do field number 9, but we'll just have to see how we go. As I'm sure you can tell, it's having no problems pulling this, so I doubt it will have any issues in the field. Obviously it has to power it up and everything, but the land is so flat that there really shouldn't be an issue. I just need to try and position this so that it can actually recognise the trigger there. Got there in the end. Kind of had to just slot it in the side of the barn. It's too big to reverse in. But once this is full, then we'll take it over there. It's obviously going to be very expensive to fill this, but it should last a very long time. So we probably won't even use it all today. Another thing we will do at some point is we will also be doing some either muck spreading or slurry spreading, but not on these fields because we're just going to plant these ones straight away. You tend to do the slurry spreading or injecting or manure spreading prior to drilling. Wow, this is not too good. Kind of messed up the driving here. But let's just sort this out and then I'll head over there. Might have to go out the other exit because it's a bit of a snake, this thing. I don't think this is the right exit, but obviously you can go out this way, and it is actually a shortcut. The shortcut's where we're going to. I think it's really just an entrance to this grass field if you're planning on cutting it. But still, it works. So, let's make our way over there. The crop we're going to go for, I think, will be... I'm thinking probably canola. But I might change my mind. I'll put it on canola for now and see if I change my mind on the way. That's just the way I'm going to do it. Also, for those of you who are interested in the multiplayer server which I've got running, it is now on Woodside Farm. Hopefully it's going to be trouble-free, but we'll be doing the first episode on that tomorrow, so that is one to look out for. Yeah, I don't know how well it's going to go, because obviously it has got a few things which wouldn't really work too well with multiplayer, such as not having a BGA, but you can get a placeable one, which I might have to do. Also, it is very narrow, it's tight, and there's a lot of collisions, which will be a bit of an issue. But what I've done is I have enabled, as long as another admin doesn't change this, of course, I have enabled the function for anyone to reset a vehicle if they get stuck, or if they drive into a ditch or whatever. You can reset it. But like I say, if this is abused, then it's most likely me or another admin will actually disable that feature. Just because it can get very frustrating if you're trying to plough a field or something, or cultivate a field I should say, because we're not going to be doing ploughing in multiplayer, and then your cultivator just disappears because someone has reset it. That would get so annoying. But yeah, I've put that feature on for now, but we'll see how it goes. So yeah, looking forward to Woodside Farm again. It has been a long time. Our field is just up here on the right hand side. And I often get asked, actually, the question, which I never used to get asked, and it is, why do you drive everywhere with a beacon on? The answer to that is, well, I don't drive everywhere with a beacon on, but the reason why I tend to have the beacon on a lot is because if I don't, there tends to be an uproar in the comments. Like, why do you never drive with your beacons on, and all that stuff. So to make it easier, I just drive with the beacons on, just so no one has to complain. I think it makes it easier for me as well. And now we've got the light add-on mod, it stays on anyway, so that is handy. Anyway, the reason why I've chosen this field is because it's quite an interesting, like, I don't know what the word is, but I suppose the terrain. It is quite an interesting terrain. It's not totally flat and boring, and it also does have a pylon. It's not a tree, it's the other field with a tree. Pylon, yes, it's probably actually worse than a tree, but still, it has something of interest in it. I am actually pleased I've bought this one, not the small one, because although on the mini-map it looks quite small, it's actually pretty big. And can you imagine trying to plant or drill field number 12? That would probably take a while on your own. But we're going to stick with canola, and immediately it's noticeable that this tractor has no problem at all with this drill. But this is the real test. How well can it pull us up here? Because that is actually quite a steep gradient. Wow. I can see why it says 320 horsepower, not 310. That is surprising. But it's okay, because we can go the other way. It actually did manage it in the end, but it's obviously not ideal. So what we'll do is we'll go across the other way. In fact, it's probably a very similar distance anyway, so it'll be fine. And that is actually the steepest part. So for those of you who were shouting at the screen when I was buying this, that will never pull that. Well, you can laugh now, because you're right, it does not pull this. Well, not very well anyway. It's okay on the flat. I don't usually do the headlands first, but it makes it easier for a field like this. turn the beacon off because we don't need that on. Yeah, I think once we go around again, or across again, it will sort itself out, because that was quite a steep bit to go for. I don't know what degrees that was in as an angle, but I would say that was quite steep. It wasn't really the fact that it didn't have enough horsepower. The wheels were spinning, so it just didn't have enough traction. Maybe if we had a front weight on, it would have managed it. I'm not sure. Well, it did manage it in the end, but it would have managed it a bit better maybe. Yeah, that is quite steep. We'll try again. This time we're going a little bit faster, I think. Yeah, not so bad that time. So yeah, it actually, it doesn't, it is probably on its limit, but it can pull it just about. So for any questions you've got on Woodside Farm, please do post them, because I'll reply to them in the multiplayer video. But basically, I've got one DLC on there, the free one, the new Holland Loader pack, because that is a good one to have. Anyone can have it, so might as well keep that on there. Other than that though, there are no mods running, except for the map of course. That is really just to keep it simple and easy for everyone. Now there is one thing which I did notice, and that is when you download the map, I think it says it's version 2, but then when you go on the actual server list, it says it's running version 1. But in actual fact, it isn't. It's running the same version as the one which says it's version 2. It gets complicated, but basically if you download it from FS UK, the link I'll provide in the multiplayer video, then you should be able to connect. It's a bit confusing because for some reason it says version 2 when it's version 1, or vice versa, but yeah, it should be okay. It shouldn't be too hard to connect. Getting on really well, almost finished in fact in just a few minutes. It's surprising how just having 3 meters extra on top of that Vardestad road, how quickly you can get the job done. So as this is canola, we won't do the same thing again over in, I always forget, is it field 9? It is, field number 9. So what we'll do is basically I will probably put something like barley in. I was going to say canola again, I'm canola obsessed. No, probably barley, I would say. That will make it a bit different, but obviously, because it's not a multi-fruit, it is the same, well, the same 4 over and over again. But still, they're still quite fun to harvest and stuff, so we'll stick with them. We won't be harvesting them yet anyway. Probably just go around in a circle just to do this bit here first. Ooh, going a bit close. That gets that bit done anyway. If you notice, so far we've actually only used 12% of the seed from almost the entire field. That is impressive. But I suppose, yeah, you don't use as much canola seed when planting. So, yeah, that is understandable. But I think it goes down at the same rate depending on whatever crop it is. It could be wheat or barley and it would still go down at the same speed. Might be wrong, I'll have to check, but I'm pretty sure that is how it works. I do like those mountains on the horizon there. They look really good. It is actually quite a mountainous map. I suppose that's just the the border rather than having the sea, which is what you get on Sandy Bay. And finally, just this bit left here, and then we are done. We will move on to field number 9 because that didn't take long at all. We will fold that up. It's amazing how dirty it is already. It's already got really grubby. But that's okay, we'll wash it when we get back. We'll shut the gate as well. Yeah, it looks good. We'll have to use the sprayer or something on it though, maybe the fertiliser spreader. And the best way to go to get to field number 9 is basically keep going on this road, turn left out of here, keep going on the road, and then turn left at the roundabout. Oh no, already wrong. Go straight over the roundabout and then just keep going up that track. That should be the easiest thing to do. Seriously long thing though, snaking behind. So yeah, straight over, and then I think there is a turning left beyond here. Here's our turning. It's always obvious because the castle is there. And then we have to go through the locked gates, and our field is the next one on from here. And I do need to put the inspector mod and the manual ignition mod back on. Apparently if you press delete instead of Y, it doesn't conflict with the Holland DLC, so I'll have to try that. Now, does this look safe to you? It probably will be fine, but it looks a bit rickety. Those railway sleepers are... oh no. I was going to say those railway sleepers are very robust, but I think the grooves are too deep. It's getting caught on it. Yeah, that is that's one way of getting across a little river. Well, this is our field, the one with the tree, and we're going to put the crop type on barley. There we go. And yes, we should probably just start. I'm going to start here, and then I'll do the right hand side, and then continue over that way. But we're on 86% before we start, so it'll be interesting to see what we get to. So we're getting on well. It is consuming the seed at the same rate because it's on 78%, so it's only used 8% so far. Although in real life, I think wheat and barley, you need more seed per square inch or whatever you measure it in, or square foot, square metre, than you would canola. So I'm pretty sure the actual consumption speed for each crop is the same when it shouldn't be, but I'm not too sure on that. Because obviously I don't know exactly how many seeds this is putting in, but it just seems to be the same rate. And again, we're going round the tree, or not a pylon this time actually, this is a tree. A bit nicer to look at. Well, this is certainly a bigger field, but we are getting closer to the end. We are almost done. And I think once these fields have grown, we're going to harvest them with a different combine harvester. I'm going to look for something like a Class Dominator, something along those lines, because I like those combines. They're obviously classics now. They're really, really good to look at, and I think they'd be quite fun to use. So, going to look for one of those if there is one. Hopefully there is. I seem to remember one in FS13 and also 11 and 9. But whether or not there is one in 15, I'm not sure. But I'm certainly going to have a look at it, see if there are any, and hopefully we'll be able to use one. That is obviously a much smaller machine than what we've been using recently, but it is nice to use once in a while some smaller equipment, so I think it would be good. Well, on this field, this tractor has actually performed faultlessly, just because it's flat. But yeah, I think it does go well with the drill. Although you can't use it on any fields with any kind of gradient, obviously it's still fantastic for the flat fields. So okay if you live in the fens, or anywhere with flat land for that matter, not just the fens. But yeah, we're almost done. Just got to go down once more, then we'll fold it up. I was thinking, is there a sneaky way across the field? Because our yard is just over there. You can get into this field here, but I don't think there is a way into our sugar beet field. So actually no, potatoes I think they are. Potato field. So we're not going to be able to get across. We're going to have to go the long way around. But once we get back, we'll wash it and put it away. I'm often criticised for not putting stuff away, so we'll put this away today. And, well, actually, if I can reverse it, I might not be able to reverse it. I'll give it a go. But that is our field completed. Once again, we'll get it folded up and we'll head back to the yard. This is probably one of the furthest north fields. There is one field over there, but no more over that way. We just have to cross the Bridge of Death. Slowly does it. Oh, easy. Not going too well here. Oh dear. Somehow I managed to free it, but not going too well. It's actually easier crossing it the other way. But we're free, we're across. Let's get back. We'll shut the gate. So in the end, we actually only used 30% of the seed over all of those, well, those two fields. Yeah, all those fields. It actually cleans quite quickly. I think that's clean enough. Put the nozzle back. And where to put it? It's a good question. I suppose I could attempt to reverse it into here, but yeah, that's not going to work, is it? Because I can't reverse these things. I can remember last June I did the Hagenstad map edit, which I did myself, which is pretty bad, and I said, can anyone actually reverse these things? And most people replied and said, yes, I can do it. I'm sure a lot of you can. I'm not sure if everyone who said they can could actually do it or not, but yeah, I certainly can't. Forget it. I'll have to struggle getting it out again, but it is undercover. So thank you for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed this episode. We have actually progressed quite well today, although our money is back at a fairly miserable figure, but we will continue next week with something different. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.